GC MMA boys. Listen, you're a fan of the channel, you don't want to hear about what's going to be said, skip a couple minutes into the video because we are about to give a fucking earful to all the people who decided to check our shit out the last couple of days and leave a negative comment.
Boys, when we made that video, we knew we were going to get a bunch of comments getting on us, basically. Mainly for the Du Plessis pick. A lot of people were going Izzy, but what just happened? We told you guys, Du Plessis is a tougher fighter. Izzy hit him with everything he had. And did that make a difference? No. Du Plessis still found the finish, and he fucking ended Izzy in that fight. He got him to the ground, got the choking, and that's all we needed, boys. I tried to tell y'all in the prediction, and we are coming for everybody in that comment section. We're about to put all of these comments up right now. We're coming from everybody for everybody. Sure, Ursig threw the 3-leg we gave out, but that didn't matter. I slammed the Du Plessis money line as soon as Ursig lost, boys. It doesn't matter.
Guys, we don't typically do this, but every single one of you guys who came at our heads for Dricus Du Plessis, Junior Taffa, anyone who left a negative comment this last week, me and you're a fucking pussy. Fuck anybody who had some shit to say about us before the fight. Izzy in round 2, you guys are clowns, never heard of defensive this, never heard of defensive that. What fucking happened? I'm gonna put a picture up right here. This fucking numbnuts comments on our shit 2 days before the fight, talking all this shit, leaving multiple comments. DDP won the first fight. I'm not gonna be surprised when Izzy knocks him out. You changed your fucking profile picture. You, my friend, are a fucking pussy. Anybody at all, if you weren't respectful to us in the last couple of days, fuck you.
This fucking guy's coming on our channel with an Israel Adesanya profile picture, talking all this.
And you fucking changed it within 2 minutes of him losing the fight to a hardwood floor picture.
You fucking idiot.
You're a bitch. Guys, further ado, we're gonna get more into that. First fight on the card, Stuart Nickel versus Jesus Aguilar. Told you boys we're not trying to bet that shit. Stuart Nickel came out, looked like the more dominant fighter, got caught in some shit. I mean, boys, I never heard of the fucking guy. I tried to say don't bet on him.
Fucking Jesus Aguilar got the sub, did what he had to, upset the hometown hero. It is what it is. Stuart Nickel, I mean, will I say get him out of the UFC? I want to see him fight again, see what he has to offer. But other than that, a good fight. Nice way to start off the card. But next fight was Song Kanan versus Ricky Glenn. Boys, we told y'all.
Ricky Glenn got his fucking ass kicked.
And I'm not gonna lie. When I had a lot of money on Song Kanan, and when he got dropped in that first round, I was starting to stress out. But when Ricky Glenn couldn't finish him there, I knew he was going to be able to stay in the fight and land those power shots. Both of those guys were gassed after the first round, but
Ricky Glenn couldn't finish Herbert Burns.
Ricky Glenn couldn't finish a damn wet paper towel in front of him. Like, that guy sucks. I hope he doesn't fight again, because that was honestly an embarrassing performance from him. All he was doing was trying to sniff Song Kanan's nuts.
Boys, the next fight, what was that?
Or was that Ramos and...
No. Yeah, just pull it up real quick and I'll cut it out.
Boys, it's hard for us to think about what happened
all
previously.
All that's going through our head is DDP and fucking Still. Everybody thought you guys were fucking psyoped. The Israel Adesanya, every time he wasn't the champion, he was going to come back and knock somebody out. He fucking tapped. He didn't get knocked out. The ref didn't pull him off. It wasn't a fluke. He literally fucking tapped. Israel Adesanya is not the goddamn champion.
He's not, and he won't ever be a UFC champion again. But the fight that was after that was Tom Nolan, Alex Reyes.
That's right. Boys, we said Tom Nolan was likely to win that fight, but to sprinkle on Alex Reyes, I mean,
it is what it is. Like, we lost a sprinkle, but you can't say that we were wrong for that, because Alex Reyes put up a pretty damn good fight against Tom Nolan. He was in there the whole time. Sure, he was getting rocked, but he was still throwing. And when somebody's a minus 1,200 favorite
with a minus 1,200 to not go the distance,
they should be going out there and finishing a guy whose last win was in 2017, and you're going to a decision with him. Like, boys, it is what it is that Tom Nolan won, but I'm not very high on Tom Nolan after this.
I will say this, boys. He definitely, regardless of what you would say, out of his 3 UFC fights, that was probably the one that impressed me the most, because he showed me he can go 3 rounds without getting knocked out. So, salty as we may be, whatever, boys.
Props to him.
Props to him. He belongs in the UFC. He's a young guy. We don't want to hate on him too much. I just thought that Alex Reyes was going to be able to do more. So, hats off and fair play to Tom Nolan.
Yeah, he's a decent prospect, but he definitely has a lot more to prove in his UFC career. But let's see, I'm pretty sure Ricardo Ramos and no, it was Jack Jenkins, Herbert Burns.
What did we say, boys? If Herbert Burns makes it out of the first round, he's an automatic win.
Yeah, the writing was on the wall for pretty much everybody who was watching this card, who's a true fan. Everybody knows Herbert Burns is a quitter, a coward. And honestly, there should be a new rule when you're on the ground with your legs up in the air and your hands behind your back, just chilling like you're on vacation, that if you do that more than twice, the ref should just step in and end the fight. This is an MMA fight. This isn't jiu-jitsu. This isn't a grappling match.
You're getting punched in the fucking face and laying there like that. Guys, come on. I know what we said about Jack Jenkins, and still, I'll say this. If he fights anyone besides Herbert Burns, I don't know that he impresses me. I didn't bet on him. Congratulations to him for getting the win. We'll see what he does going forward. But boys, Herbert Burns needs to be cut. I'm tired of these fucking guys who are getting these shots in the UFC just because they have a brother who accomplished as little as getting a fucking ranking in the top 15.
And getting knocked out in this title fight. But Gilbert Burns is besides the point. Herbert Burns just needs to be gone and banished. I don't want to see him in the octagon again. I don't think any of y'all want to see that. It's not very... Well, it is kind of entertaining to see him get his ass kicked, but like...
Do Tony Ferguson against Herbert Burns.
Oh my God. Maybe Tony Ferguson can get one last win in the UFC.
On to the next one, boys. Ricardo Ramos versus Josh Culibao. Guys, I've got a bit of a bone to pick.
Oh my God.
I don't understand how Ricardo Ramos gets that decision victory when he was dropped, got one takedown, and was outlanded via significant strikes 70-27. If you happen to be watching this video and you were saying, don't talk crap about my coach, Ricardo Ramos is a bitch, and I don't give a fuck if he's your coach.
Yeah, some fucking guy came on our shit talking about how Ricardo Ramos was his coach. Your coach just got fucking fed a win. He did not deserve that win. Anybody watching that fight, how did he deserve to win that fight? I don't see it. The judges were going rogue on this, which we'll get to again, a ridiculous scorecard on one of the fights on the main card. But guys, like, there's got to be a point to where the UFC does something. Like, props to the Western Australia Fighting Commission, whoever was running this shit. Props to them for kicking that judge.
Yeah,
on the main card. They kicked him off.
They said something has to be done about this guy. Guys, it's not even that judge's fault. That was a split decision victory. 2 judges gave it to that guy.
It's just like, what are we watching? Like, are the judges watching this fight in like a different universe or a different timeline or some stupid...
With 3D glasses or some shit?
I don't understand.
Tried to say not to bet on this fight, boys, and we hope you did. On to the next. Walter Walker versus Junior Taffa. Now, boys.
Oh my God, dude. Back to back of just bullshit.
What you have to understand, I know you guys have probably got a taste from this, but we understand this completely. When you're a content creator on the internet, especially UFC, you tend to attract the biggest pussies on the fucking internet. You have people commenting because we said our opinion on Junior Taffa and how he wasn't that great, that Junior Taffa would beat us in a fight. Oh my God. Someone who's fucking 90 pounds heavier than both of us could knock us out means that he's not a bad UFC fighter? Put that through your fucking head before you're leaving a comment on our shit. Guys, that was very, 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 very weird. I don't know if I could say Junior Taffa tapped, but when you're getting a leg locked and you're going, oh, you expect the fucking ref to not bat an eye at that? He doesn't know if you just pulled some shit. He doesn't know if your leg just snapped. You don't want to get fucking submitted. Don't start crying bloody murder whenever you get put into a submission attempt.
It's just hard for me because there was like 5 seconds left on the clock and he was in a heel hook, boys. I would get it if he was in an arm bar with 5 seconds left and he screamed. But when have you ever seen somebody get finished by a heel hook with 5 seconds left on the clock? The ref should have let it go for 5 seconds. Sure, if you broke his foot, it would have been over, doctor stoppage. But his foot wasn't broken. He stood up and slapped Walter Walker at the end of the fight. Like, I don't care what. Oh, it was a good stoppage. It's not a good stoppage.
It's not a good stoppage.
If the guy's getting up and slapping the other dude in the face.
Guys,
come on, Junior Taffa.
Come on, dude.
And Walter Walker's standing there like, oh yeah, I'm Walter Walker. I just did this shit. You guys,
Junior Taffa,
like,
the
get out of
biggest
here.
crime you committed tonight was you fed into Walter Walker's ego. You made him think that he's like that against heavyweights. He's not. Guys,
this is bullshit.
Main card, Carlos Prates versus Li Jingliang. Guys, I still fuck with the Leech for that performance. He did not go out like a bitch. Yes, he got knocked out, but he was still and like throwing shit. Guys, put him against Santiago Ponzinibbio or somebody else inside of the welterweight division, because while he got his ass kicked by Carlos Prates, as I'm sure everybody and their fucking brother knew he would, he didn't fight like Herbert Burns. He did not give up. He literally went out cold. He was throwing until he went out.
Dude, like, I think we need to start realizing that some of these Asian guys have that dog in them, bro. The Korean Zombie went out on his shield. The Leech just went out on his shield. The one Asian dude that fought Hyder Emil, he went out to the very end.
I can respect that.
Yeah,
type of
that's
shit,
it. I respect that. Like, when we get on some of these Asian guys, we're getting on the ones who are like getting knockouts over
and not even
randoms and then going out instantly and giving up.
Yeah, and not even that, guys. Look, we have to understand about GCMMA, regardless of what these random people who decide to leave comments on our shit without understanding our track record or who we are, if we get fights wrong or wrong about fighters, we are completely fine with taking the wheel and fucking doing a 180 and giving respect where it's due. The Leech got knocked out. The guy, the Korean Tiger, got knocked out in the first round. Kazama. Guys, I can respect these guys. The last thing I want anybody that watches us to think is that we're so set in our ways to where we're just gonna huff and puff when we're wrong. Or anything like that, boys. I can fucking respect what those guys did. And tonight, the Leech showed that even though he was out for 2 years, he belongs in the UFC. Maybe not in the top 15, maybe not against Carlos Prates, but he belongs in the UFC. And boys, we previously mentioned rogue judges. Tai Tuivasa versus Jarinzio Rozenstruik was not a fucking split decision.
Guys, I know I said how I felt about Tuivasa. I thought he was gonna find a way to get the KO, but he was just gun shy out there. I think those previous 4 losses got to his head. He didn't want to let his hands go. He was afraid of getting knocked out, and his swang and bang he only swanged and banged in the last 5 seconds of the fight when he needed to do that the entire fight. But when it went to the scorecards, I'm taking a piss, and all I faintly hear 30-27 Tuivasa, and I'm literally mid piss stream thinking, wait, there's no fucking shot. And then thankfully the other judge who was watching that fight was
actually watching the fight.
Was actually watching the fight, and they kicked the guy off judging.
Did someone win a fucking Make-A-Wish contest and get to become a judge for a UFC card or some shit? How the fuck is that split decision? How did Josh Coolabau lose? These people are being paid money every year, going through numerous hours of education on scoring MMA fights, and this is how shit is turning out? You have got to be fucking kidding me.
We need to open an investigation into some of these refs and judges, because literally I can't think of any other reason besides 1, this guy wasn't watching the fight, or 2, this guy had money on Tuivasa. Like there's literally no other way to score Tuivasa not only 1 round in that fight, all 3 of them.
How? Tuivasa 30-27? How did he win every single round in that fucking fight? What that judge wanted to do was get on Tai Tuivasa's good side so they could go out and drink after the event or some
so
shit.
They could run a shoey after he won the decision or some shit. Like, that was ridiculous. But Biggie Boy did what he needed to do, kept it clean.
Went to decision.
Yeah, whatever. Went to decision, kept it clean. I mean, I was hoping that fight would have ended in them swinging it out and Tai Tuivasa caught him, but it is what it is. I'm not too salty about that, because in the next fight, a plus 300 underdog cash for GCA MMA boys. Dan Hooker, like we said when we made that video and we got on Gamrot.
That crotch sniffing
sniffing pussy, bro. All this guy does is act like he's about that, and then as soon as he hurts, he's trying to sniff your nuts. Not even the front of your nuts, not even the back, all your entire sack. He's trying to get a good whiff of this guy. I mean, shout out to Dan Hooker for keeping that guy far away from the top 5 in the title picture, because I do not want to see Gamrot versus Makhachev.
You're trying to be pissed off, going on Instagram and Twitter, saying you're gonna go to UFC headquarters as a threat because you weren't given the backup title fight against Makhachev and Volkanovski, but you're literally losing to Dan fucking Hooker. Guys, I like Dan Hooker. He was number 11, and he beat Gamrot. If you can't beat Dan Hooker, you're not fighting for the fucking title. Get your Polish ass in the gym with Jan Blachowicz and let him teach you how to fucking swing and bang.
And Mikhail Olejniczuk's probably like just sitting in the corner in the Polish camp like, guys, woohoo, we suck. We're never gonna get to the title again. Like, I'm just tired of those Polish guys. Oh, the Polish power decision.
And don't even get me started on that Robert Brichek idiot who lost to Ihor Peteria on short notice. Guys, on to the co-main event. I've got some shit to say.
Fucking Urseg.
Urseg, boys. Listen. Now, he was a part of our 3-leg. And Kai Car-France surprised me, I'll say that. Yes, I'll give him his credit, but I also have to point out the fact that, guys, Kai Car-France dropped him the second time he was up against the cage. Kaikar France landed a punch. Usyk was like this. He landed a punch to his hand and a punch to his body, and the ref pulled him off. This is a fucking title eliminator. You don't stop a fight because someone's down. And number one, it's not, I'm not even saying you don't stop the fight when they ate 2 punches to the head when they're down. He ate a punch to the guard and a punch to the body. As soon as the fight was over, Usyk stood up. And if you guys want to get your claim of glory and say, haha, I had Kaikar France all along, these guys don't know what they're talking about, fine. The comment section is open. You guys can, if you feel good about yourself by saying that Steve Usyk lost when we picked him, fine, go ahead. But you cannot sit there with a straight fucking face and tell me that that was a fair officiating by the fucking ref in stopping that fight when he did. Let Usyk at least eat a shot to the head when he's down. A shot to the guard and a shot to the body, and he steps up? Are you fucking kidding me?
Guys, I mean, it sucked. He sold our 3-leg, but fucking Usyk, boys. I mean, I still want to see him in the UFC, obviously. I still want to see what he has to do. I want them to run that one back. Kaikar France, good job getting the KO. He looked like a fucking goblin from Clash of Clans out there, but he got it done with the speed and the power, with the overhand. He did what he had to do, boys. Good job, Kaikar France. Good knockout. It was a good way to lead into the main event. It brought a lot of hype. The crowd wasn't let down because the co-main went to decision and it was a boring fight. Like, them boys were out there, they were throwing, or else they got caught and that was it. But the main event, I know we touched on it at the beginning of the video, but in the first round, or the second round, when Du Plessis was getting takedowns on Izzy against the fence, Izzy was cheating. I literally was watching him grab the fence for like a combined of damn near 30 seconds, boys. He was cheating. Rewatch it. He was cheating. The ref magically doesn't see it. He sees one, gives him a warning, but doesn't see the rest. Like, it's just so dumb. But you can cheat all you want, but you're not gonna beat Dricus Du Plessis, and we knew that.
Guys, like, to all the people who think Sean Strickland beat him, you can think all you want. Dricus finished Adesanya when this was the most dangerous version of Adesanya.
I never bought into that.
Adesanya by round 2 KO. Adesanya's getting big. Adesanya's missed this shit but isn't gonna miss when he aims between your head. Guys, talk all you fucking want. Whether you agree with me or not about Dricus being the best fighter in the middleweight division, he just got himself another win and is still undefeated in the side of the UFC. And one of these days, everybody's gonna be on the same exact train as me. One more time, for anybody who thought they were big for their britches and trying to talk shit before the fight, fuck you. I don't care. I really don't. My thing is this, boys, and here's what I've understood as we've been uploading content to the internet. 85% of people who follow you, they respect you, they are entertained, they like you, they're never going to talk shit. But there are these 15% of these fucking, I would consider these people like if you had a fucking dock in the water, they're the barnacles that grow on the bottom of shit when it's in the water. These people are the scum of the fucking earth who come and try to talk shit about some... I already have beef with people who talk shit after a fight happened. Oh, that didn't go so well. But for you to talk shit before a fight happened and that happens, what do you have to say now? What do you have to say now? Next time you think about commenting on someone's YouTube video, think of fucking again. You look like a pussy.
And we don't even, it's not like we talk shit on people who fade our opinions before the fight.
Be respectful.
We respect anybody's opinion. At the end of the day, it is a fight game. Anybody can honestly win with any lucky punch, any shot. Somebody can get rocked. Somebody can throw a leg kick and their leg get destroyed and the fight ends. Anything can happen.
But for people to be saying, you guys don't know about fighting, how old are you? You must have been breastfeeding when Adesanya was fighting, dropping clown emojis, all this shit. You guys talk so much shit, and what? You guys all look like bitches. I do not give a fuck.
Obviously, you guys means the idiots that were trying to talk shit about us, not the fans who've been in our comments, hyping us up, giving us love. Like, we love y'all, for real.
This is the reason
why
we do this shit is because we have people who fuck with the things we have to say. And I know the majority of people were picking Dricus. But for those of you who thought that you were slick, Adesanya profile pictures and shit, guys, at some point you've got to learn your fucking lesson. And if you guys will go ahead and respectfully say, oh, I was wrong, I'm going to subscribe to you guys. That's the end of that. I'm going to start listening to you. Fine. We can bury the fucking hatchet. But these people are fucking toxic. They're toxic. Boys, the Instagram parlay. I said my piece about Steve Ursig, boys. 3-leg. Fucking Prates, Ursig, and DDP. Sorry about that, guys, but how could we expect for the fight to end like that? We'll be back next week. Everybody who showed their support this week, dropped a like, gave a subscribe. Thank you, guys. We really appreciate it. We fuck with you guys heavy. We promise we're going to be back next week for Cannonier versus Brawlho, and we're going to drop some shit that's going to make you guys some money.
Yeah. Last note, I just want to thank Song Kanon and Dricus Du Plessis for saving me from a massive money pit from this card. I slammed the last remaining of my balance on Du Plessis. He came through, put me in the green, boys. Thank you, Du Plessis. Thank you, Song Kanon. And thank you, everybody who's showing us love on the channel. We love y'all. Keep it up with the comments. We'll be back next week with the predictions. We're not stopping. Any amount of hate won't be able to stop what we're trying to do on this channel.
GC MMA out.